Thank you. And welcome to the May 22nd Selectmen's meeting. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And could everyone please silence their cell phones? I'll see what I can do. The first order of business tonight is a public hearing on the budget ballot. Before we start that, I'd like to mention a couple of things that have come out of the public hearings and the budget committee hearings. And that is that thanks to a suggestion from Selectman Doyle, there won't be any changes to cell phone reimbursement until there is a new policy in place that covers cell phone reimbursement. And another thing is, after all the dust settles from this budget season, Gary will be looking into a salary range for different positions in town so that someone who does the same job in a different building will be in the same range as everyone else. There may be some cost associated with that and a lot of work, but I think it's a fair thing to do. And that's it. Moving on to the budget. So Article 1 is to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the Selectmen's recommendation of $2,211,143 for government expenses for the year ensuing. And that is up $12,000 from payroll changes, 2.5% COLA, retirement contributions. Some leases and debt service have decreased, have been retired. Have increased health insurance costs from single employee to family plan. I think that's for 5 families. No, 6 families, $5,000 each. We offer the most inexpensive health insurance plan that MMA offers. People chose that plan.
Oh, yep. Voluntary.
All the employees chose that plan. When we started, it was in the mid 500s per month, and it's now well over $700. The town clerk budget shows election cost up $1,000 because of ranked choice voting and new local referendum preparations. IT software costs are up $3,000. Because of the generator failure and the boiler failure last year, the Selectmen have decided to start an emergency contingency fund and set aside $10,000 per year. Hydrant rentals have increased because of the water district rates have increased, and under a PUC approved rate increase. And under state law, we must pay 1/3 of the water district's budget as the host town. General assistance has decreased, with some clients becoming employed and others moving out of town. County taxes went down because we've now paid off our 5-year loan from when the county changed from the calendar to the fiscal year, and a 6-month county budget was needed. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
Just a comment on the hydrant rentals. That's governed by PUC. The water district, they have to cover 1/3
Yes.
of the cost of the water district's water for the hydrants and
Operating budget.
Operating budget, and PUC allowed the water district to go up on the rates.
And that is
And it's
non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable, and also just covers the cost of the water.
All right, moving on to Article 2. To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate for the Selectmen's recommendation of $269,835 for tax assessor, CEO, planning board, planning and zoning board of appeals. Under the assessing, The selectmen have recommended that we continue with our 2-day-per-week assessor, but add 1 extra day per month for a $56,000 in salary line portion. That was just to help her get ahead a little bit. Add a day.
Start in that direction, yeah.
Our code enforcement budget changed with an increase in CEO hours from 36 to 40 hours per week as things begin to pick up again in the economy. The CEO has requested a deputy CEO inspection time that will be only paid when he uses it, if needed. He's also requested a second-hand 4-wheel drive vehicle for inspections to replace the old police cruiser. That request was not approved, and we will attempt to get another year out of the old cruiser. The planning department budget increases mostly in salary lines. We deleted $35,000 for our Southern Maine Planning and Development Commission, town planner, consultant, and added $60,000 in salary for a new town planner who would be hired for 32 to 40 hours per week. We also deleted $15,000 for the economic development consulting work, since the new town planner, if hired, would also be doing that work. Any comment? Article 3, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the selectmen's recommendation of $382,498 for the Waterboro Library and Recreational Department. Our library shows a little change since this is the second year we budgeted for a 32-hour per week professional librarian. Some travel and training expenses increased with more library associations and conferences that are expected to be attended by the new librarian. The Recreation Department budget discussion centered around administration salaries. A motion to reduce the salary line by $11,000 was defeated by a 1-2 vote in the Budget Committee's meeting. In addition, employee mileage reimbursements was moved to the DPW budget, as were other park maintenance items totaling nearly $20,000.
This article on the rec department is $290,000, which they're taking in almost half of that, or better than half of that. And you don't see this in this article because it's money being generated and turned into the general fund. So quite a bunch of that is a wash. The taxpayers aren't paying for anywhere near that type of money. It's money in and money out, but
Okay, Article 4. To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the selectmen's recommendation of $2,269,743 for trash disposal, transfer station, public works, and capital improvement plan.
Put that twice in there, don't we?
I noticed that. That's why I skipped it. Good. There's been major fluctuations at the town transfer station because how waste handling costs have pretty much skyrocketed because recycling has, the bottom has kind of fell out of that market. And our free spring cleanup day costs more each year as the economy improves and our population grows.
I think that's gone from about 10 grand to almost 15.
And somehow people still find a tremendous amount of stuff to bring in that day. You think they'd start to run out. But Public Works budget shows a part-time field worker, $12,000, and a parks maintenance line of $7,500 were moved to the DPW from our recreation budget. New additional funds were approved for more road striping and roads and bridges annual maintenance. The sand and salt budget increased $41,000 to reflect usage the past couple of winters, and our snow removal budget has increased by $95,000 because we will have a new plowing contractor this year. The Foglio family will no longer be plowing. Article 5, to see if the town,
Left out the CIP. of
oh,
article.
sorry, thanks.
Yeah, right there.
All right. Capital Improvement Plan, this is under Article 4. Capital Improvement Plan budget shows that $100,000 proposed for a waterline extension to the central fire station was reduced to zero since a new central station roof was approved not to exceed $150,000. This insulated metal roof is needed to stop annual ice dams and water damage to interior walls. Both the Budget Committee and the Selectmen recommend buying a new fire truck with 10-year funding. However, the first payment will not be needed until after July 1st, 2019, so no taxpayer dollars will be raised in fiscal year 18-19 budget. This truck will replace a 20-year-old engine. Town Hall is running out of fire-protected space for town records. Consequently, a $54,000 space was approved for new file cabinets and construction of a masonry fireproof record storage room. A proposed $20,000 was reduced to zero for a new electronic sign for community information. Old Alfred Road paving was estimated at $260,000, with DOT paying half. The Budget Committee recommended $140,000, $10,000 more than originally estimated, for Old Alfred paving, just to make sure that the job was done well and would last. Other sidewalk and road projects were not funded to reduce the impact to taxpayers from the Old Alfred Road paving and fire station roof project cost. Moving on, Article 5. To see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the Selectmen's recommendation of $1,247,360 for fire department, EMS, and police services for the ensuing year. Any rescue service revenue in excess of $20,000 at the end of the year shall be held in an account designated only for the purchase of equipment. Funds shall be spent only with town manager referendum approval.
Town meeting.
Town meeting, thank you. Don't do that. Town meeting referendum approval, except in the case of emergency, including but not limited to equipment replacement or repair, and then only with the approval of the Board of Selectmen and the fire chief as outlined in the town of Waterboro Fire Department and Emergency Medical Services Ordinance adopted October 26, 29, 1997. Thank you. I have a little verbiage on that. Stand by. Article 5. Our public safety budget increased a total of $43,000 from cost of living adjustments for full-time staff, increasing the administrative assistant time from 25 to 32 hours, and adjusting our call pay hourly rates per minimum wage laws. If we did not change the per diem line in similar fashion, we could have experienced call pay volunteer firefighter making more per hour than a trained per diem paramedic. This budget contains about $6,000 for winter tracks on our new rescue ATV, so we can sell the snow sled and stretcher trailer and have only one wilderness rescue vehicle for all 12 months of the year.
And I would add that ATV, the large ATV with the sled, was purchased with donated money, not taxpayer money. So the rest of these have no, the only other one that's
Just
got.
to 15.
Yep.
Article 6, to see if the town will vote to raise and appropriate the Selectmen's recommendation of $85,985 for the miscellaneous committee, including old home days and agency expenses for the year ensuing.
Let me just give a few examples.
Sure.
For the committees, road review doesn't have any, actually, road review had $2,000 this year. They didn't have anything else appropriated for this coming year. And Lake Arrowhead Conservation Committee, we give $3,000 every year for milfoil harvesting in Lake Arrowhead. The Garden Committee, obviously, is a very going concern. They're at $1,600. Recycling Committee is not a functional committee at this time. Cemeteries get $5,000. The Taylor House gets $5,000 for going towards maintenance there. A small amount for Memorial Day flags, and $32,000 for cable TV facility. Under agencies, what we've funded this year are York County Community Action, American Red Cross, York County Community Action for $3,500, American Red Cross for $500, Levitt's Mill Free Health Center $1,000, Southern Maine Area Agency on Aging $2,900, Caring Unlimited $2,300, Saco River Corridor $300, Kids Free to Go $500, Life Flight Foundation a little over $1,900, and Southern Maine Memorial Veterans Cemetery at $500 for those two lines there.
All right, Article 7. Excuse me. To see if the town will vote to allow state revenues from registration fees derived from the registration of snowmobiles to be placed in a separate account for the maintenance of fire roads for the year ensuing, and to be expended under the direction of the fire chief, public works director, and a representative from the snowmobile club.
And this is an annual affair also.
Article 8, to see if the town will vote to authorize the tax collector to charge interest at the rate of 8% per year on all unpaid taxes, remaining unpaid beginnings, all unpaid taxes remaining unpaid beginning on the day after the due date.
Both of these are set by the state, this one and Article 9.
Article 9, to see if the vote will set the rate of interest at 8% on abated property taxes due to overvaluation as per 36 MRSA Section 506-A. Article 10, to see if the town will vote to authorize the tax collector or treasurer to accept prepayment of taxes not yet committed pursuant to 36 MRSA Section 506. Article 11, to see if the town will vote to authorize the Public Works Director, with fiscal approval from the town administrator, to spend public funds on emergency winter maintenance for public safety reasons on private property after determination of emergency by the fire chief or a contract deputy, with funds to come out of the winter maintenance account. Article 12, to see if the town will vote to accept the reports of the several town officers for the year ending June 30, 2017. Article 13, to see if the town will vote to authorize the municipal officers to accept gifts to the municipality and expend the same, and to make application for and execute any documents required for various grants from the state and federal government, as well as individuals, private charities, and foundations, and to further authorize said municipal officers to accept any such grants, if awarded, and authorize their expenditure for the purpose so specified.
Going back from Article 9 to 13, the townspeople have to vote to authorize the selectmen to be able to do this, and this is per state laws, and it's nothing that we haven't done for the last 20 years at least, and this was always on the townhouse floor, and that's why none of these from Article 7 to 13 could be combined. It's all got to be voted in separate articles, but it's all state mandated.
Ted, did you have a question?
Maybe I'm misreading Article 12 differently. Is that year 2017 correct, or should it be 2018?
No,
For the year ending June 30, 2017, it should be 2018.
no, because we're a year and a half
That was
behind.
last year's reports
Last
then,
year's
right?
reports.
You couldn't have 2018 because we're still in it.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
We're a
Okay.
year and a half behind.
Just
yeah.
wanted to make sure.
Yep.
Okay.
Good question.
Article 14, to see if the town will vote to zero out all credit balances as of June 30, 2018, in all departments of town excluding the following end-of-year account balances to be carried forward until applied. And that would be for the Waterboro Community Garden, Old Home Days, Economic Development Committee account, Town Roads account, Paving Hot Top account, Traffic Light account, Transfer Station Buildings account, Municipal Buildings Repair and Maintenance, Capital Improvement Upgrade Roads, Donations, and Municipal Buildings Reserve Fund.
And, Mr. Chairman, some of these are going to have very little, and sometime, and a couple of them may be $0 in there, and some of them will have very substantial, like the paving town roads account. And this is something we've done each and every year I've been here, and I assume several years prior, that because you didn't get it done by June 30 doesn't mean the money has to go away. Something in here can keep that project going into the next year after July 1st.
The other thing with the hot top is if you got it done the very end of June in this fiscal year, you may not get a bill till the 2018-19 fiscal year. So you need to rotate those funds to pay for last year's road accounts or any of these accounts. The Old Home Days has quite a bunch of money, but they're spending it before the new money comes, so they're actually a year behind because they've taken in quite a bunch of money already on stuff that they're selling or advertisement and getting ready, and most of this year's Old Home Days won't be paid till
Yeah, that group
the
spends
fiscal year.
that group spends money in both years just because it's in early July.
Yeah.
So.
And lastly, Article 15, to see if the town will vote to appropriate $6,467,000 as provided above, and to raise the same as shown in estimates below, with $2,584,000 to be raised by property tax levy. And that would be $1,035,700 for miscellaneous debt revenues, departments, miscellaneous department revenues, $1,443,859 from excise tax and rapid renewal, $20,000 from state general assistance reimbursement, $800,000 from undesignated fund balance, formerly known as surplus, $310,000 from rescue billing fees, $81,500 from MDOT roadblock grants, $15,000 from ambulance subscription, $100,250 from transfer station fees, $76,231 from cable TV franchise fee, for a total of $3,884,540.
And that's for the municipal budget in these warrant articles. Obviously, that does not include the education portion.
And this article shows estimated revenues to offset property taxes. A new significant increase is to use $800,000 from our undesignated fund balance instead of the $500,000 that we used this year. Citizens are encouraged to come to any upcoming selectmen's meeting and ask any budget question on your mind, or stop in the town hall Tuesday through Friday to speak with the staff. Please take the time to become a more informed voter, because this June 12th election will be very different in the content of ballot questions and time it will take you to vote. Absentee balloting, voting is strongly encouraged, so you have more time to study the ballot, ask questions before voting. Absentee ballots will be available at Town Hall starting May 16th through June 7th, 2018. All budget documents, links to meeting videos, etc. are available on our website. And I assume this is on our website, this ballot?
Yes.
All right. So for those of you who don't speak Mongolese, you can go to this and read what I just read aloud. Any questions from the public? Jack?
This feels kind of strange, because I was in the same place when we had the vote on the property we were trying to buy. I was the only one here that had anything to say. I guess I am totally out of sync with the energies of the town or something. Nevertheless, I want to take a minute to talk to the audience out there. I'll be brief, and I'll have 2 points. The first is a parable. A young couple went to a nursery and purchased a young maple tree. They brought it home, planted it in their backyard full of rich soil, and over the next 20 years, they nurtured that tree with sunshine, water, fertilizer, and careful pruning. One afternoon, a man walked into their yard with a chainsaw. In 10 minutes, he cut down the maple tree. In 10 minutes, he destroyed the work of 20 years. It's much easier to destroy than it is to create. Second point is, I would like to encourage people. I would like to vote in favor of the town budget that is presented to us by the Selectmen. I will vote yes because I trust the process. Every town resident had the opportunity to contribute to the budget process from the initial meeting to public hearings. The meetings were open. The directors of town departments, the budget committee, town administrator, board of selectmen, who by the way are elected by us, all had a voice in creating this document. I don't claim to understand all the nuances of a multi-million-dollar budget. However, I'm going to vote yes because I trust the people who created it. I've been involved with the town for 10, 15 years, and I know most of the people that were involved. And I am confident that their intentions are the best for the town. With the complexities and the pros and cons and all of that goes on in running a town of this size and its transitional size, my sense is the people who created this had the best interest in town. For that reason, I will vote in favor of it. And I would ask everyone who picks up a ballot as they go down that list to ask themselves whether their vote is a vote to build up or a vote to tear down. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Would anyone else like to speak?
Mr. Chairman.
Gordon?
I've heard around town a lot of comments regarding the layout of this particular warrant with some concerns about the consolidation of articles, and they seem to focus in on that, Dennis Abbott created, all this. I like to say that Dennis didn't create that. He's the voice of the board because he's the chair, but the decision to add or to consolidate certain articles together was not a unilateral decision by him, but rather a collective decision by the members of this board during our budgetary discussions. And the reasons for that is we didn't feel that people wanted to stand in a booth for, an hour and a half, 2 hours, going through this, individual line by line by line. And why did we think that? Is because if you're too lazy to go to a town meeting, and we had to change that because you didn't want to sit there for, a couple hours on a Saturday morning or whatever, what makes you think that we would think that you'd want to stand in a booth for an hour and a half, and if the booths are all full, you've got to wait in line for an hour and a half for someone else to get done. So you could end up being in the voting at the polling place for 2 or 3 hours, which seems to defeat what you were trying to get out of before. So we consolidated these in the interest of saving time for individuals, and we placed them, consolidated them in a logical manner, like everything that had to do with assessing was, under one segment. We didn't, just go willy-nilly all around. They're in sequential order. So that's the reason for that.
Don't you think that for the first year, it should have been the other way around? To give people a chance, and then if they didn't come out and vote, or if they thought it was too long a ballot, then we could shorten it up in the following years?
I guess, what comes first, the chicken or the egg, the horse or the cart. And, we had a long discussion on that, and this is just the way we decided that we wanted to go. And
we also knew that we had a pretty good inkling that ranked choice voting was going to be part of this. And we thought the confusion and the frustration factor didn't need anything else, because that in itself, we'll find out in a few weeks here. That's going to be an issue.
Do we have any indication of how many absentee ballots have been taken out since last week?
49 have been taken out and 9 brought back, so not many. But it's not even June yet, so.
And it hasn't been about a week. Like tomorrow is the.
Yes, that's right.
I'd just like to add that Sherry put a tremendous amount of work into this ballot, and I think it really shows, and it's exactly what I had in mind. It's not too long, it's not too short. I think it's great, and I appreciate it. It's a good job.
It's about a nickel in it. Up a nickel.
Well, we're hoping, Dwayne was asking what the tax increase might be. We plugged it into the draft formulas here, and we're hoping that it'll be less than a dime on the tax rate.
Okay.
That's our goal. You never know that until you're truly done and see what comes out of town meeting, this time a referendum election. But early indications were there's going to be a small increase because in that line, fourth line down there, we're using $800,000 of your money, of taxpayer money this time around, instead of the $500,000 we used this year. Citizens should know we have a very healthy fund balance, which is a good thing, but it also doesn't need to be so large that we can't use it in times when $150,000 roof on the fire station and $100,000 to $200,000 in paving
Thank you.
projects, new paving projects, need to be done. So that's the time, I think, to hit the fund balance for more, and the board agreed to do that, and I think it's smart to do. It's taxpayer money, let's use it. We don't have to leave it sitting in the bank to excess.
And that's the thing I hear most of the time when people realize what we have for a surplus is, well, if that's taxpayer money, why don't you give it back to the taxpayers? And that's what this is. It's giving it back to the taxpayers.
Mr. Chair. Just one last thing, too, about, it's been said numerous times about encouraging people for absentee ballots. It is, come into the building, sign it out. You can get one for your spouse, significant other, or whoever. All you have to do is sign for it, take it home, sit down, read through it. We still have a lot of time for you to sit back and say, okay, I've got 15 questions about this thing. Come and see us. We will answer your questions so that you can make an educated voting decision one way or the other on this budget.
And on that note, too, I got mine tonight, and it took less than 5 minutes to procure 2 absentee ballots
That you're taking home.
that I'm taking home
Right.
to fill out.
It is convenient. I did the same thing.
There's plenty of information in this room. It can't be in the lobby anymore because voting has started. But handouts are available here. They're on the website. And there's no shortage of exposure to the questions if you want the information. We're also going to have another mailer. You see, everybody in Waterboro should have received one. It would be, 2.5, 3 weeks ago. This one will be blue and not green. It will probably be in an 8.5 by 11 format, looking just like this. And you will probably get it by June 8th, all Waterboro mailing addresses. So stay tuned for that.
Minutes for the April 24th hearing and meeting are not published yet.
For the selectmen? Okay.
Because I noticed tonight you're gonna approve the minutes for the 8th, but the minutes for the 24th aren't up there.
Not posted on the website, you mean?
Correct.
Yep, very good, thank you. David will take care of that.
Would anyone else like to speak from the public? How about the board? Anyone?
I'll make a motion to close this public hearing at 6:37.
Do you have a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Gordon. Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, folks.
Thank everybody for watching and everybody for attending.
Does anyone have any announcements?
We don't see too many of our local citizens rise to a senior age. We have a lady in town, I don't know if you know her, Lena Sanborn, that's going to turn 100 years old in June. I've heard that her wish is to get a birthday card from people, so if you, I don't happen to have her address right now, I'll get it and make sure that we get it posted on our webpage so that if somebody does want to send her a card, that would be, I think, a nice gesture. She ran a barber shop on Ossipee Hill Road for years and years and years, and at a time when Waterboro had no beauty shop, she also acted as a beautician.
What was her name again, Gordon?
Lena Sanborn.
Lena Sanborn?
We have one other person turning 100 this year also.
We do? Okay.
Barbara Bean.
Barbara Bean.
Will be 100, I'm not sure what month it is, but
Oh,
her husband was the one that had the airport down where Friendship Park is. Liam Bean, there's a plaque down there for him.
And she's still driving her own car.
Yeah, she's still driving her own car.
Yes, she is.
So we have some centurions out there.
So I'd like to add Lena Sanborn is the Lee of Lee's Dairy Curl. She had Lee's Dairy Curl.
In the
Ice cream
beginning.
store next to Larry Davidson's place there.
Pretty industrious lady, yeah?
And she had to go to the state because they would not let her get a license to be a barber. None of the men would take her on to be their assistant to get the hours to get her license. And so a local doctor went in and stood up for her, and she became the first woman in Maine. She had 2 barber shops. And then she started Lee's Dairy Curl here when she moved to Waterboro. She was in my fire story. She's one of the people who was burned out in the fire of 47. She's a feisty, wonderful woman.
I think we ought to contact Al Roper.
Her
and get
second
those names
barber
on the
shop was up
Schmucker's
the
jar.
Limerick on the sharp turn at the bottom of the hill.
Right.
She was right there at the corner of the dam.
Any other announcements?
I think we ought to get those 2 names to Al Roker so they can get on the Schmucker's jar on the Today Show.
June 2nd is the town cleanup day at the transfer station and recycling facilities. Saturday, June 2nd, from 9 to 5 for Waterboro residents only. No commercial haulers or businesses. They will take anything that they usually take on normal hours. Electronic, white goods, furniture, shingles, sheetrock, metal, building materials, mattresses, and box springs. No hazardous waste to be accepted, such as asbestos, gasoline, sandblasting grit. And for any more information, 247-3440, 3440.
And all kinds of electronics, everything, TVs, stereos, old paint, they have an area for that. You should check it out, because you'd be amazed to see what comes in there.
I do have one thing here that just came in today. There's going to be a informational forum, 90 minutes long, in Springdale about recreational and medical marijuana, from the medical side as well. It's going to be June 11th, noon to 1:30 p.m. at the Nassau Healthcare, which is right next to the Springdale Fire Station on Oak Street in Springdale. And there are going to be 2 people there, I think, from the medical side. I'm not sure if they work for Southern Maine Healthcare or not. They're associated with an organization here, but if you want more information, you could call myself or Sherry here in Town Hall.
Okay, just got it. Many of us know Bimmy Woodsome, Andrew Woodsome, who passed away recently, and there's going to be a celebration of his life on June 9th, Saturday, June 9th, at the Snowmobile Club outside at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I think those details are all correct, but I said I would put a flyer on the Facebook pages for his granddaughter Andrea, who we talked about my letting people know about that. So it's Saturday, June 9th.
How about the hours?
2 o'clock in the afternoon. There'll be a Masonic service and general celebration time. Dwayne, can you add anything?
Masons are gonna have their service around 3 o'clock, and shortly after that, we're gonna feed whoever's there, so.
This indoors or out?
Mostly outdoors. We've saved the building just in case it's raining or the elderly wanna go in and sit down, but there'll be a tent outside for people to sit down and eat. And
So they're starting at 2.
Nobody's gonna serve anything till after the Masons get done, so 3:30 or so, there'll be a luncheon.
Sounds good. Any public comment? Any further public comment? Okay, under correspondence, we have the treasurer's report, Senator Woodsome's newsletter, a report, and staff initiative, Selectmen's report. We'll start with you, Dwayne.
Well, I got a concern that I see Saturday morning up here on Route 5. We had a sheriff, which I believe was the town sheriff, stopping traffic for an hour and a half, putting docks out on Ospey Lake. And my question is whether the town, he was on the town payroll or the campground payroll, but either way, we had an event going on for over an hour, probably a little over an hour, I'm guessing closer to 2, but I know of an hour, and they had no signs out there that traffic was being stopped. And if it's a case of emergency, they don't need the signs, but that I don't call a case of emergency. And there should have been 2 flaggers and not just a sheriff stopping cars so that a tractor could go back and forth across Route 5.
Is this at the campground?
Yes.
Ah, okay.
So I would only hope that the campground paid the sheriff, but from now on, if they're going to do something like that, there should be signs and flaggers out there. And the reason I say that is one of our previous town sheriffs stopped state trucks when they was patching Route 5, and he said that they needed flaggers in order to patch a small hole on Route 5, which is a 3 to 5 minute stop. So if the town crew or the state crew needs flaggers, the sheriff's department does too.
Yeah, I didn't know they were going to do that. You
I went through as they were doing it, and I'm really gonna guess that they were doing it without anybody and doing stop to make sure that it was safe, is what I'm gonna guess.
Even though if the sheriff did it on his own time, or if the town paid for it, it isn't right, because it was a private individual doing a private job. And if they was doing that for any length of time,
Oh, it
they
was-
needed signs to, because there was upper of 15 cars on the north end at times, and the traffic was backed up to Lakeside on the other side, so it was a very confusing
Yep.
stop.
No signage, no flaggers.
No,
You all set?
yep,
And just to clear up the monetary aspect of that, he did hire the sheriff's office. It came out of his money, not the town's money.
the sheriff should have had some type of signage out there to play the game and play it correctly. It wasn't a state of emergency. It wasn't an accident. It was a planned event.
You should have flags.
Yeah. At least signs.
Ted, anything?
Nothing at this time.
Gordon?
No, I'm all set.
Well, last night, the Community Steering Committee took a visit to St. Joseph's, the Alphonse Sports Complex, which was a pretty cool place. And our plan is just to get out and look at different places, different sizes, from big to small. And we had 6 members show up on that, so it's pretty well attended. I've never been to St. Joseph. It's quite a facility. It's really nice. And that's it for me. Gary?
I do not have a written report of things that we've already talked about concerning budget and election and medical marijuana comprise my report, so nothing from me, thanks.
One thing I did miss was, if time allows, we wanted to show a...
I don't know that we're going to have time.
Not going to have time?
I don't think
Okay,
so.
we'll skip that.
We'll do ranked choice voting discussion on our next meeting, which would be June 5th.
We just have a 5-minute video that we can show. Might help people understand. New business, update on recycling loads contaminated with too many plastic bags.
And hopefully a lot of folks watching at home right now, because there's going to be a lot of signage on the silver bullets outside Town Hall here. There's going to be a lot of new signage at the transfer station. Right now, a lot of people bring their recycled materials in Hannaford bags or other plastic bags, and those bags are going into the recycling, and that has to stop. If it doesn't, we're going to pay a per ton fine that's more than the per ton handling cost for the recycled material, because the end vendor for that plastic, when they see it contaminated with all these plastic bags, they can refuse it, and we don't want that to happen. So we have to have a grassroots informational effort here to inform the people of Waterboro that you cannot use any more plastic bags going into the recycling bins, whether it be at Town Hall or the transfer station. This is our first public notice of this. Look for signage, look for us to talk about this extensively. Dennis, most of the time, goes to the EcoMag meetings. When he cannot go, I go. And were he here tonight, he would expound on that. He's been to 2 meetings in that regard, and there are very heavy penalties that are going to start to be assessed before the end of the summer on a per ton basis. So we've got a lot of work to do in terms of information and changing people's habits, and if we have to, we'll take the silver bullets away from here for a while if we have to. I'd rather not, because I'm here at all hours of the day and night, and they are used 24/7. People appreciate having that here and being able to go there anytime. So stay tuned for more information on that.
You're gonna get some signs out.
Yes.
Now, do we have a recycling committee at all?
Not that's functional
We
now.
haven't for a couple of years.
I'm just, the grammar school has done quite a bunch on recycling, but I'm wondering if we can get somebody to get down before school closes to maybe educate the kids so that they can take that home,
Yep.
that these bags.
And the challenge there would be the custodians too,
Yeah.
because they throw everything in bags.
Yeah, I don't know, it's hard to work with SAD 57 sometimes, but this is something that
We have
is
to-
our tax dollars, so.
Yes.
But that's the start of education, is the younger kids. But I really personally, I don't recycle myself, but I did not know that the plastic bags wasn't recyclable till I see it a couple of weeks ago in a flyer, so.
The kids have been doing a great job. They collect it, they even weigh it.
Mm.
But the thing is, they bring it in plastic bags, and
Yeah.
it's plastic bags that are doing this.
Yeah.
Did you have
I
something?
think that's going to be a huge issue. I thought I was a wonderful, good citizen, and I religiously recycle, and that's what I use for. I had no idea.
This is new.
Yeah.
I mean, hearing it from Eco Maine.
I read on the news of homicides.
But you can still take it in a plastic bag and just dump it and use the plastic bag as trash.
And
And maybe we need a barrel out there to just put those plastic bags in. The trouble is, when it's gonna want a small top, so they can't put in a lock cover, because they're gonna put the trash in it, so. But
Yeah.
if we had some type of a barrel that these Hannaford bags can go in,
Just
and I
label
won't
it.
say it's all Hannafords, but grocery plastic bags,
well, there's a lot of bigger ones in there
Yeah.
too. People can squish them in, they do.
Yeah, everything in it can be fine, but it's the bag that's doing us in.
It goes beyond that too. If you look at it, I looked up coffee bags, and they said because of the lining in a coffee bag, it's not recyclable. I never would have thought that. Sandwich bags.
Those fruit
saran
juice
wrap,
cartons,
really
that's
gets-
another thing.
well, a lot of the grain bags, the paper of grain bags is plastic lined at this point, and those aren't recyclable because there's two different types of material in it.
So we need cleaner recycling, and stay tuned, and hopefully everybody will chip in and do their part.
Next item, 9B, accept the resignation of Joshua Godard from the Public Safety Committee.
So moved.
Second, with no
Second.
regrets.
With regrets?
With no
No
regrets.
regrets. Any discussion? All in favor? 4-0. Discuss vote to approve the minutes of the May 8th, 2018 regular meeting.
Hey, what happened to number 10, Mr. Chairman?
Sorry about that.
We got good news on that
Number
one.
10, old business. Yes, we do.
Yes.
Continued discussion on tax acquired property. Over to you, Gary.
Okay, I left the last meeting and wasn't here to participate in that discussion, I'm sorry, but you have, in the Selectmen's packets, there were 6 properties that were occupied, or at the time we thought they were occupied, and they all are in one sense or another. And I'm pleased to say that numbers 5 and 6 on the memo to Selectmen, one was a mobile home that was over $5,800 for 5 years of back taxes and interest. That has been paid in full. And the other one, which was even larger, was just under $18,000. It's going back even farther, and that was paid off today. So I'm very thankful for these people responding to the letters, the cards in their door, the interruptions to their life, and me. And these other 4 are mobile homes, and Shirley and I think that just the mere these folks just getting a homestead exemption will take care of their tax bill in the future, so it would be 0. So if there is a poverty abatement before the Selectmen in the future, then those folks could at least start out with a clean slate. Because the last thing we want to do is take somebody's home, and especially a mobile home, because then the town would have to be paying rent on the property there until the mobile home is sold. And I've met with all 4 of these folks, and a variety of different stories, and some of them are working hard and have terrible situations that they're in. One of them has the ability to pay and get back up to snuff, and I think the others may not. But the dollars are not huge in these others, so these things may come before the Selectmen in executive session in the future. So, but major progress on the 2 big ones here that have been paid.
Which leaves just the Lake Arrowhead lots, other than the one down here on Route 5, 202.
The vacant lots in Lake Arrowhead, yeah.
Yeah.
And I could,
And
I'll
that
take your
one-
thoughts.
One vacant lot down here on Route 5, going out of town.
Where the old shed was.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only other one that's outside of Lake Arrowhead.
And before we had a sealed bid, would you folks like to have a real auction? Whether it's an auctioneer or someone of us doing it, or do you want sealed bids?
I think an open auction is the way to go, and then we'll know if there's any interest at all. And if we need to go sealed bid after that to the abutters, these Arrowhead lots, unless we're gonna put a minimum on it and send the abutters, give the abutters first refusal on them.
We can let them know about whatever we.
Yeah. We definitely want to address the abutters to let them know that the auction is coming up.
Yep.
But in most cases, if we got $500, we did this years ago, a minimum bid of $500, and it was an unbuildable lot other than a garage. Couldn't build a house on it for $500, but you could build an outdoor building.
Some of these do have building
Continuous.
envelopes,
Yeah,
not all.
They could eliminate their property line.
they
right?
could, yes.
Now, is that based on their back taxes, or are you just looking to get something out of it?
I'm looking to get something out of it. Most of these taxes are,
Remember the last time I put on their minimum bid, that was a mistake because we sold 3 out of 34. And I put on there the taxes and the fees owed, and that was too much.
I played auctioneer 1 year here, and I got 24,000 out of it, one of those lots, which was about what we was looking for out of all of them, so.
I think my memo to you, I put 250 max, I mean,
Yeah.
consider that. And then just write it off and get them back on the tax roll.
We as a selectmen have the right to sell them to the abutters without putting it through an auction, so.
Do?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a way of
Yeah.
getting it back onto the tax records, and it gets that lot out of Lake Arrowhead's demands, because it goes to the abutter, and the abutter only pays one fee per year, so.
Yeah, our road, it's like as people moved in and we were aware of the lots that were in between us, we would just go and tell them that this was available, they should go check it out, and it gave everybody more land on either side, so we weren't as crowded as a lot of other areas, and the deer yards in between houses are all like flourishing.
Yeah.
But it is working really well in our, so.
I mean, there's 32 lots, 33 lots up there. Some of
Just
them,
have to get a quick claim deed then and combine it into
Yeah.
one property.
yeah.
What's that?
So, real auction, gentlemen? I mean, would you,
That's my suggestion.
Wayne suggested that, I endorsed that hardly, because when we did it the last time, it didn't work at all, sealed bids, so.
I think it's worth a try.
I'd like a letter sent to the abutting owners,
Yep, I agree.
giving them, like, I don't know, 15, 20 days to express an interest, or therefore it's gonna go to open auction.
I guess if we're gonna send a letter out, we need to put a dollar sign on those lots. Now, the question I would have is, and we did that once before, divided a lot in half, and both abutters was able to take a half a lot, which made it very unbuildable, but it gave them both room enough to put a garage on.
Now,
So,
they
I mean,
they could add an extension onto their house too, can't they?
They could
Yeah.
do most anything as long as they can meet the boundary lines.
Or like for folks like Bridget, she probably would turn it into a garden spot.
For a studio.
So,
All right, we'll work towards the auction, and then at another meeting, since we're about to start an executive session here, we'll finalize minimum bid pricing.
So we'll pick up where we left off after the executive session?
Yeah, you only gotta do minutes, that's it.
All right.
And nobody else is here, so want to do that now?
Sure.
Certainly can.
Like a 5-minute recess before we go into executive session.
Yeah, let's approve the minutes here.
I was gonna say, I'll make a motion to approve the May 8th regular meeting
I
minutes.
second that.
Any discussion? All in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. We'll take a 5-minute break before the executive session.
Adjourn the other meeting?
We should, if you wish to make any other business relating to this.
12 and 13 was the
Yeah.
only ones we didn't handle, Dennis.
Why'd you wait for me?
We ran out of time.
All right. Well, 12, what did you say?
12 and 13.
Well, 13 is a week's action
Yep.
list. And discussion of agenda items. Items needing signature of the minutes of the May 8th meeting. I assume you accepted those?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And so I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. 7:53.